Pick any topic you know almost nothing about. It could be quantum computing. It could be the history of the Ottoman Empire. It could be how mortgage interest rates actually work, or what causes inflation, or why some medications become ineffective over time. Now imagine sitting down with someone who has read everything ever written on that subject. Every textbook, every research paper, every explainer article, every expert interview, and is willing to walk you through it patiently at whatever pace you need, starting from absolute zero with no judgment and unlimited time for your questions. That is not a fantasy anymore. That is what AI research looks like in practice. And by the end of this video, you will have a complete step-by-step process for using AI to go from knowing nothing about a topic to having a genuinely solid, nuanced understanding of it, faster than anything that was possible even 3 years ago. Before we get into the process, there is one mindset point that is so important it needs to come first. AI is a starting point for research, not the finishing line. It is a research assistant, not an encyclopedia that is always right. The hallucination problem we have covered in earlier videos is real. AI can produce confident, fluent, well-structured responses that contain inaccuracies, outdated information, or in some cases, things that are simply fabricated. This does not make it useless for research. It makes it a tool that requires a particular approach. Think of it the way you would think of a brilliant but occasionally unreliable colleague. You would absolutely ask them to brief you on a topic before a meeting, knowing that their overview would be genuinely useful and save you hours. But you would also know to independently verify the specific facts that matter before acting on them. That combination, AI speed plus human verification, is the research workflow that actually works. Step 1 is getting the foundation right, and the most powerful technique here is deceptively simple. Ask Claude or ChatGPT to explain the topic to you as if you are 12 years old. Not because you are not intelligent, but because this instruction forces the AI to strip away jargon, use analogies, and build the explanation from the ground up, rather than assuming prior knowledge. The explanation you get from this prompt is almost always more useful as a starting point than the more technically accurate version would be, because it gives you a mental framework to hang everything else on. Once you have that foundation, you start asking follow-up questions. Why does that happen? What causes that? What are the implications of that? Each follow-up goes one layer deeper. Each answer gives you new vocabulary and new concepts that become the basis for the next question. You are not passively receiving a lecture. You are actively building understanding through a directed conversation. This is genuinely how learning works, and AI makes it available on demand for any topic on Earth. Here is a specific example of what this looks like in practice. Say you know nothing about how central banks set interest rates, but you need to understand it for a work project or a personal financial decision. You start with, explain how central banks set interest rates as if I am 12 years old. You get a clear, jargon-free overview. Then you follow up. Why would a central bank raise interest rates? What does that actually do to the economy? Then, who gets hurt when interest rates go up and who benefits? Then, what is the relationship between interest rates and inflation? Then, what happens if a central bank raises rates too aggressively? Each question builds on the last. Each answer fills in another piece of the picture. After 20 minutes of this kind of directed conversation, you have a working understanding of a topic that most people spend years in formal education approaching. Not expert-level depth, but solid, functional, genuinely useful understanding. The kind that lets you follow the news, have an informed conversation, and make better decisions. Step 2 is comparison and contrast, and it is one of the most underused research techniques in AI. Once you have a basic understanding of a topic, you dramatically deepen that understanding by asking the AI to show you where things diverge, where experts disagree, and what the strongest arguments on different sides look like. Ask, what are the strongest arguments for and against this position? Ask, how do different schools of thought approach this question, and where do they fundamentally disagree? Ask, what do critics of this view say, and what is the best version of their argument? Ask, what is genuinely contested about this topic? Where do credible, informed people still disagree? This technique is powerful for 2 reasons. First, it gives you a much richer, more accurate picture of a topic than a one-sided summary would. Most interesting questions do not have simple, universally agreed-upon answers, and understanding the landscape of disagreement is part of genuinely understanding a subject. Second, it trains you to think about the topic critically rather than just absorbing whatever the AI tells you first. You are not just collecting information, you are building a map of the intellectual terrain. Step 3 is going deeper with sources, and this is where you move from AI-assisted understanding to independently verifiable knowledge. Here is the key principle. Use AI to identify what to look for, then go and find it yourself. Ask Claude, what are the most important books or papers on this topic that I should read to go deeper? Ask, what search terms would help me find high-quality, recent research on this? Ask which experts or institutions are considered most credible in this field. Ask ChatGPT with browsing enabled. Find me 3 recent credible articles about this topic from the last 6 months. Use the AI to build a reading list and a search strategy, then go and verify the specific facts and claims that matter through primary sources. This combination, AI for orientation and direction, primary sources for verification, is what separates genuinely good research from fast research that happens to sound confident. Step 4 is synthesis, and it is where research becomes useful rather than just interesting. You have asked your foundation questions. You have explored the disagreements. You have identified sources to verify. Now you need to turn all of that into something you can actually use. A clear summary, a structured overview, a set of key points to share with someone else, or a recommendation for a decision that needs to be made. Ask the AI, based on everything we have discussed, summarize the 5 most important things I should understand about this topic. Ask, write a 1-paragraph overview of this topic that I could share with a colleague who has no background in it. Ask, given this information, what are the 2 or 3 most important questions I still need to answer before making a decision on this? That last prompt is particularly valuable because it turns the research session into an action plan rather than just an information dump. You leave with not just what you learned, but what you need to do next. Now here is the part of this video that could save you from a genuinely embarrassing or costly mistake. Hallucinations, the tendency of AI to occasionally produce confident-sounding information that is simply wrong, are most dangerous in research contexts precisely because the whole point of research is to build reliable knowledge. The best defense against hallucinations is a habit that takes about 30 seconds and catches the vast majority of problems. Before you rely on any specific fact, statistic, name, date, or claim that came from an AI research session, ask the AI itself, how confident are you in this specific claim and what is it based on? A well-designed AI like Claude will often flag its own uncertainty when directly asked. It will tell you that it is not certain, that this is its best understanding, but you should verify, or that this information may be outdated. If it responds with high confidence and you can see a clear logical basis for the claim, that is a reasonable signal to proceed while still verifying independently. If it hedges, or if you are about to act on something with real consequences, go and check it against a primary source. Treat every specific factual claim from an AI the way you would treat a footnote in a book. It points you towards something worth checking, not something worth citing without verification. One more technique worth adding to your toolkit: using AI to research AI. This sounds circular, but it is genuinely useful. If you find yourself confused by a term, concept, or claim that came up during a research session, simply ask Claude to explain that specific thing before moving on. You can pause the main research thread at any point, dig into a confusing detail until it makes sense, and then return to where you were. This recursive quality, the ability to zoom in on any piece of the picture at any moment, is one of the things that makes AI research fundamentally different from reading a textbook or watching a documentary. You are not locked into someone else's pace or structure. You are building understanding in the sequence and at the depth that actually works for your brain and your specific purpose. The skill you have just built, using AI to research any topic quickly, critically, and effectively, compounds over time. Every domain you explore using this method makes the next one easier, because you start to recognize the patterns of how knowledge is structured, where disagreements tend to live, and how to ask questions that surface the most useful information fastest. The next video takes this one step further, moving from research in general to applying AI directly to your work, and showing you the specific workflows that make the biggest difference to how much you can get done in a day. Subscribe so you do not miss it, and I will see you there.